What's up, guys? I want to talk to you guys about the definition of a street car. What that is. What is a street car in this race world that we're in? I know I have my view on it, my opinion, and that's what I'm going to give you guys. The best way I can compare it for people to understand my definition of a street car would be like a Model T. It's my comparison. And here's why that's my comparison. What amenities does a Model T have? Not much. Pretty bare bones. It's a body on a frame, motor, some lights. About simple as it can get. Seat. Yeah, they were 30 horse or whatever, 20 horsepower, but they had nothing. But it was a car that you drove. You drove it to work or wherever, whatever the case may be. That to me is a street car. And that's my comparison because a lot of people used to talk about my stuff. Oh, your car's cut up. Oh, you got a plastic bucket race seat in it. Oh, uh, it's a tin can. There's nothing to it. Okay. And here's the difference between my tin can and what they had. That was my only car. At that particular time, that was the only car I had. I didn't have nothing else to take me to work. If it snowed, if it rained, if it hailed, if it was an ice storm pouring down in the middle of winter, that's the car I drove. I even got caught in the snow with slicks on. A couple times, actually. I spun the car completely around and almost wrecked it on my way home one day. But I was going slow. I was doing probably 30 mile an hour. Came around the corner and the car slid right off the road. I had to get it unstuck. And I did by myself. Because I was a kid. I didn't want my dad knowing that, I spun off the road. But that's what I had. The cut up Mustang, the door bars, the bumper sports, all that stuff was out of it. Plastic bucket race seat. I did have a stereo system in it because I like having some tunes to listen to. But that's what it was. It was a car that I liked to race. I was a kid, and I tried to get it light to, make it go. I see a lot of these guys, and it's mostly the guys with the money. They got BMWs, GTRs, Corvettes, whatever else they got. It's always the guys with the money that try to set the bar for what a street car should be. Well, that car should have AC if it's a street car. AC was an option at one point in time. You couldn't even get a car with AC in it. It was an offer. Like, yeah, if you want to upgrade your car from, a base or from whatever it is, whatever model to the next model, you get AC in it. Oh, wow, really? Nah, I'm good. You paid extra for it. It wasn't standard like it is now. And it shows that some of you people don't know that. I got the one car right here was a non-AC car. Usually when they had vent windows, they didn't have AC in them. The 55, mine does not have AC. I don't even think they had AC back then. I don't think it came out till the 70s, maybe late 60s. But it wasn't standard, is my point. It was something that you had to pay extra for, and then it became standard as time went on because everybody obviously, and don't get me wrong, I love AC. There's nothing like getting in a car with some air in it, cruising home on a hot day. It's luxurious. It really is. But to say that a car that's going down a racetrack needs to have AC is just asinine. Now, everybody has their choice of car. You got money. If you're watching this and you got a nice payroll, you got a Vet or a GTR or whatever, Lambo, Ferrari, whatever you're building, and it's a $100,000 car or $60,000, whatever, and you got air in it and the car goes eights, that's beautiful. You chose that car to build. But don't get upset when I roll up with a cut up tin can and I knock off a pass like yours. Yeah, sure, you might have the bragging rights to say, well, I did it with air. That's great. I did it with a fraction of the budget. That's the difference. That's the difference. The wallet. At the end of the day. That's what people don't understand. So yeah, if you own a Vet, you did whatever to make it go 10s, 9s, or 8s. You could afford that. That's what you chose to build. That is beautiful. But the class shouldn't revolve around what you did. The class should be what is in the realm. If that car is a street car and you're in a street car class, my car, that is a street car with a tube front end. The heater's unhooked, but it is in there. A roll bar. It's got seats in it now that are nice and comfortable, but at the time I had a plastic seat in it. But if I'm rolling up with my car, is my point, that's cut up, glass hood, I don't care if it's got a glass trunk, glass doors, Lexan, I don't care what it is. If that thing rolls up and it's tagged, insured, and it drives on the street, then I should be able to sit next to the guy with the Corvette in his air, with his 35-way seat, the steering wheel that massages your fingers, all that bullcrap. That was on you that you got that package. You chose that car because of its amenities. That's your fault. You could go home and cut that car to pieces if you want to and take all that crap out of it if it's that big of a deal. If you're that upset about a car rolling up like mine, cut up with nothing in it. Sure, I might be sweating and hot. But at the end of the day, my car doesn't have that much money into it where yours does. And it goes to show because you have the nicer car with air in it. It's pretty simple. You either spend the money, you get a nice vehicle with air and all the amenities and be able to knock off a 10, 9, 8, even 7 second pass, 6s, whatever. I spend what I spend to go whatever I go. My point with this is that a car that has a bar in it and is cut up shouldn't be not allowed to race in a race because it has a roll cage, a harness, one seat in it. If that car can drive on the street and has insurance, tags, registration, like it's legal. I don't even care if it has turn signals, to be honest, or backup lamps. Like some of these classes, the horn has to work in it. That's cool and all, but that's a little absurd. Like that's stretching it. To me. Maybe it's just because I grew up seeing the cars my dad had, or even some of the stuff I've owned. You know, they're old. The horn in the Fairmont sounds like it's ready to die. It hardly works in my wagon. It's like, it's about that loud too. Like there's no point in even using it. Granted, that would pass as a horn because it's there and it does work, but it's just not loud. But this stuff's old. My car, I'd spray the windshield with Rain X in case there was a chance of rain, but it was nice at the moment, and I would take it out. And I got caught in the rain with no wipers, just letting the rain run off the windshield. So to me, a street car doesn't even need wipers. I don't care what glass is in it. I don't care if it's Lexan. I don't care if it's a carbon fiber body. If you got a VIN plate made for that legally, it has tags and insurance and registration and all on it, like Jeff Lutz's Pro Mod. I don't care if it's a carbon fiber body on a tube chassis frame. If you're willing to go that far with something, kudos to you. You deserve it. You deserve to race in that class. Period. Point blank. It's just... And that should be allowed. In a street car class. If somebody does that, don't get butthurt because you didn't think of it. If that car can make good drive, and it's really a street car, it's driven on the street, to me, I don't care. I don't care if it's got steamrollers on the back of it, big tire, small tire. It's different if the class cutoff is, 28-10-5 or something, but if it's just all-out street car class, don't matter. Let it run. Some of the rules I understand. It's to keep some of the fast stuff out. I get it. But to tell somebody they need to have air in their car, it's like stuff like that, where it needs to have adjustable seats. I understand the full interior thing to an extent, because like some of these roll bars you can't even fit. The back seat's useless. Depending what bar you have, sometimes it goes right through the back seat, depending on the car and the style roll cage it is. To me, that back seat thing is kind of dumb, but you don't need seats for a street car. One seat, that's it. That's all I've used at times to go down the road. One seat. Passengers, you're lucky to ride in the car. Congratulations. You want to ride in this piece of crap? Alright. Put a seat in it. I've taken guys for rides in the car without a seat because they wanted to ride in it. I want to go for a ride in that. You sure? Alright. Hold on to the roll bar then, Tube front ends. I just saw somebody put together a race with that. No tube fronts allowed. Why? Because of 40 pounds? You're really worried about 40 pounds? That's the stuff I don't understand. No tube fronts allowed. But yeah, I can pull the bumpers out of the car. Yeah, I can cut all the inner aprons and stuff out and get more weight out of it that way. But you don't want me to have a tube front. 30 pounds, 30 or 40. Some of the people that make the rules even say that stuff's really not even that heavy, not worth doing. It's not that heavy. But yet you're making a rule to keep it out of the class. That is a total contradiction. Why? Because it's easier for me to work on my car at that point? If it's not knocking that much weight off, according to you, and you just made a rule about it, that I'm not allowed to have it in a street car to race your race. Why? Because you don't have one? That's the type of stuff these guys do. It's like they pick a car and they build a race around it. I don't get it. Some of the stuff I hear, it's like wild. Just why? You do it. There's a really easy way to do it. A buddy of mine did it years ago. Make the car drive to the track. You make it race. Has to win. And it has to make it back to wherever the starting point was. It's that simple. I think it was a 30-mile cruise he had the cars do. This was like 20 years ago. This was before Hot Rod Week and all that bull crap. This was, like I said, about 20 years ago now. He made the cars drive from a shop to the track. Winner had to drive back to the shop and make it back without breaking. If the car broke, runner-up had to do the same thing. I think he made the 2 cars follow. So, it's that easy. If the car breaks, runner-up takes it as long as he makes it. Pretty simple. That's the easiest way to determine a street car. So, apologize for clearing my throat. Been outside all day. I was cutting grass and got to me a little bit. But, fairly easy. Fairly simple opinion on my part, I think. I can't get mad at somebody who builds a gangster and brings it out in a street car class if that thing really is driven on the street. I mean, you can usually tell people post pictures on Facebook. There's social media now, you know. I mean, not everybody does, but most of these guys, especially if they're into this racing stuff and they want to show that it's a street car, they will post a picture of the car driving on the street. They'll post it at a ShopRite or Walmart or Acme or Dairy Queen getting ice cream or whatever the case may be. Or you'll see a video of it going down the street, or you'll see somebody snapping a picture of it and posting it. Hey, I saw you driving your car today, or whatever. So usually you can find the ones that are legit and you can find the ones that are stretching. But if that car can make a cruise, race, make it back, it's dependably, you know, and that's all really it should be. So, that about sums it up for this video. If you guys want to share your input, feel free to comment. I'm sure I'll get some guys that, you know, disagree with my opinion on it, but that is my opinion. It's fairly simple. If a Model T is a car and it has nothing really there, then my Mustang should be able to have the options of a Model T and race in your race. It's just as simple as that. Alright guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.